If I have to bet which group of people knows more about staph than any other group, I'd pick fighters easily. Listen, before doctors and scientists that dedicated their whole life to this go crazy in the chat, I'm just trying to make a point here.
Put some respect on my name.
This community is particularly familiar to, whether you're a wrestling kid from the US, Sambo kid from Russia, little Thai fighter from Thailand, you probably encounter skin disease such as staph. And thinking about it, it makes sense. If you're fighting, your skin gets damaged all the time. From frictions and cuts and bruises, you have more skin-to-skin contact than a
Puerto Rican whore. Make me sick.
You're disgusting. We're disgusting. But hygiene is, I hope, not something that is unknown. Truth be told, I don't think it covers the whole picture. See, I know some of the cleanest people from the cleanest gym catch life-threatening staph infection recurrently, to the point of needing IV antibiotics. Don't you think they showered and cleaned up the mats? Like, what's happening there? Well, cleaning products only address what's outside of the body, not what's inside of the body. And where's inside of the body, you may ask? I'm about to tell you what's exactly inside, how it travels the rest of your body, and how you can do absolutely nothing about it. Well, almost. But beware, what I'm about to tell you might ruin the experience of combat sport forever for you. Only the real one will train.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Let's tune in to another episode of the Staphylopedia.
This week's topics: staph infections.
Staph infection.
Staph infection.
Staph infection led to the death of a top state worker.
And a lot of pain and suffering from something that I didn't even know I was suffering from.
30% of the human population carries Staph aureus on their skin or in their nasal cavity naturally.
Just because it's all around us doesn't mean MRSA is harmless.
I give staph, I don't get staph. Calm the down.
Methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, or MRSA.
Man, that's staph. That is fucking staph.
An attack alarm signal can trigger certain bacteria to become dormant and more resilient to antimicrobial.
And then you get staph again, and then you take more antibiotics, and then it wipes out your stomach even worse, and then you get staph again. So it's like a cycle where you just keep getting staph and keep fucking up your immune system in your stomach.
Breaking down the information for you and telling you what you need to know to keep you healthy.
But I gotta clarify something first. When I say inside of the body, I don't really mean inside of the body. It's more of an inside-outside situation. See, nobody told you this, but you're actually a big fat donut.
You fucking donut!
I mean, like, structurally. Your skin is actually on the outside, fair. Your muscles are actually on the inside. But what about your gut? Your gut is actually outside of your body, and it's the border patrol of the things that your body wants in versus the thing that it wants out. Remember when the Chinese government were anally swabbing their population to find out about college?
调整站姿，推荐以下站姿。一手扒开肛门，一手扒开。
So why am I telling you this? Well, they were onto something. Listen, I don't want to do a Yiri out of myself and get misunderstood.
So just to be sure, to everyone, man, I'm a, like you said, straight man.
Do I think the Chinese government was wrong for anally swabbing their population?
Excretory system, it is only for exit.
Now, do I find it funny? Come on.
Let's maintain civility.
You tell me. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that it's not because it's a respiratory virus that it doesn't have other modes of spreading around. In the same way, staph doesn't have to be spread through skin-to-skin contact. It can live in other places in your body, and the gut might be the root of the problem. So, listen to the rest. In fact, staph is present for a third of the population and is actually really common inside the gut. When scientists compared nasal swabs with anal swabs, they found something really shocking. The intestine rather than the nose represent the primary S. aureus staph colonization site and might even serve as a reservoir from which other colonization sites are replenished. It means that if you're colonized with staph, you probably have the most staph inside your gut, and it's feeding all the other sites like your skin and your nose. But how does staph travel from your gut to your skin? How does it spread out? Well, you might already have guessed the first theory, but stick around for the second theory, which is not really as obvious and I think less disgusting. I don't know. They're both kind of gross. Let me know which one you find grosser in the comments. Are you ready? The first theory is amicably called by scientists fecal bacteria shit. Obviously the grossest thing you've heard in a while. Ass juice. Little particles of poop end up everywhere in your environment. Some assholes more than others. Obviously, cleaning is a huge aspect for this, but it's not like you're carrying a butt plug everywhere you go.
God, I hope not.
The moment you sweat trying to rip a kimura from north-south is the moment that you shed your bacteria. You use the same towel for your ass and your face, flush the toilet without putting a seat down, and it spreads everywhere in the gym. Oh yeah, keep yourself clean. Scientists also discovered another theory called the Trojan Horse theory. If you don't know the Trojan Horse story, well, let me recap. There's a bunch of military dudes in ancient Greece. They couldn't capture the city, made it like they were forfeiting, gave a horse as a gift, but guess what? They were inside and then killed everybody. Yeah. Well, that's exactly what's happening with staph. A neutrophil through a white blood cell captures staph inside of the gut. While it's thinking that it's actually destroying it, staph is actually living inside of that white blood cell. Then it goes from the gut to the lymph nodes, and if there's an injury or bruise, the neutrophil ends up near the injury, and then it affects this injury from the inside. But regardless of the theory, there's a strong relationship between the gut and infection. But the question is, how do we stop that from happening? Before you start drinking bleach to kill the staph inside your intestine, you need to understand that the best way to fight bad microbes inside of your gut is to have actually good microbes. This ecosystem is called the microbiome, and it's the fine balance between the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. And this exact balance, this is what determines how well your immune system runs and how well your overall body feels, especially when it comes to the skin and the gut, which is called the gut-skin axis. The microbiome and your skin have a two-way street. So stuff that's happening to the skin impacts your microbiome, and your microbiomes impact your skin. So anything that turns off this balance is called a dysbiosis. So you can have a dysbiotic gut and you can have a dysbiotic skin. Mostly when you have staph infection is that you have an overgrowth of a bad bacteria that is the staph bacteria. So there's a vicious cycle that goes on in maintaining that health. So what do you take care of first? Your skin microbiome to impact your gut microbiome, or your gut microbiome to impact your skin microbiome? I think it's both of them. First of all, you gotta hydrate your skin, take good soaps, I don't know, talk to your dermatologist and stuff. Fuck. Listen. I think I broke my thingy, but for the person that has skin issues, you probably think that was a shitty answer. And half of that is true, right? You want more information on topical sit that you want to put on your skin. But right now, I want you to focus on gut health. I think this is the thing that helped me the most. And truth be told, is the thing that nobody's really trying to discuss right now. So listen to the rest of the videos and more skin health topical shit later. Okay, bye. When it comes to the gut, there's a lot more things that you can do. Drink plenty enough of water, eat fermented foods. And what about probiotics? Well, I'll probably do a video on how most probiotics are totally garbage. What you get is mostly dead or inactive probiotic strain that will probably die in the facility that is stored in. What you need to get is usually a spore-based probiotic, which comes from sports. Anyways, what's different between spore-based probiotics versus normal probiotic is that the bacteria within itself knows that it's gonna go through a harsh environment, and it creates a spore, which is like a calcified thing that holds itself and allows it to resist extreme temperatures and extreme pH. Most of the probiotic that you take go to your gut and then burn, and they die, and they don't make it to your gut. Anyways, but again, I gotta disclose something. The FDA is pretty clear on saying that no food or dietary supplement can claim to cure or prevent a disease. So don't think you're gonna... Yasir told me you can clear staph or prevent staph.
Diplomatic community.
It's to support your immune system. That's it. But after reading this study from the NIH, which by the way has changed my life, it kind of changed my perspective on probiotics. And there's this particular probiotics that claims to reduce staph by 95% in the body, so 97% in the gut and 65% in the nose, without harming your gut microbiome. And this is the topic of my next video. Check it out.